Right from a young age, you're probably made to believe that you are a very important human being. You probably got very good treatment at home and at school, and probably everyone loved you, and everyone in a subtle way made you believe that you are very important. However, this very feeling, when it gets very much accumulated, it tends to become your ego. And the ego is one of the most harmful things for everyone. This is because the ego doesn't let a person to grow. A person's ego makes him believe that he is already enough and that he already knows everything that there is to know. When a person has such a perspective, he will not be open to new things. The person will try to dismiss any opinion that does not go according to his belief. Now, when a person develops such a habit, life will certainly throw very difficult situations to the person, but the person will have a very difficult time coping up with all the things that life throws at him, because he will start to believe that even if he hasn't done something significant, he always deserves the good things, he always deserves the pleasurable things. But as we all know, there will also be unpleasant situations. So the earlier a person understands that he is insignificant when he is compared to the entire world, the person will have a realistic perspective on life. Just imagine it. In this very world, there are 8 billion people. This should tell you why you're somewhat insignificant when you look at the bigger picture. Now, our Earth is not the only world. There are so many other worlds. And our Earth is not the only planet. There are so many planets within the solar system. And the solar system is also in a greater galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. Now, when you think about it, there are so many other galaxies other than the Milky Way galaxy. You're just a tiny creature who will come to the Earth and die someday. You're not permanent. So whatever you take as ego is also in fact false, because you are also temporary. The body that you have is temporary because someday it will decay. Now, if you stick to your body, if you believe that you are your body, and if you start having too much of ego about your physical features, or if you start having too much ego about your mental capabilities, then one day or the other you are going to be crestfallen, you will be very much sad. Now, this happens because for some time, certainly life will give you pleasant situations. As long as life gives you pleasant situations, you'll be totally happy, you'll still be proud of yourself. But when you face failure, you'll be crestfallen because you'll not be able to cope up with unpleasant situations. So that is why spiritual practitioners talk about equanimity. This means that even when you're very happy and even when you're very sad, you try to maintain a balance of your mind. You should neither be too excited about good events happening, nor should you be crestfallen and heartbroken whenever some bad events occur in your life. So when you have this balance, you'll experience something that is beyond happiness or sadness. You'll experience something that you could call peace, or even precisely bliss. Now, these will just sound like mere words when we just talk about it, but when we go deeper and try to understand what bliss is through practice, we'll understand that even the happiness that we think that we have right now is actually temporary, is actually false. And you'll realize that when you experience bliss through your meditation practices, you'll understand that even happiness is a part of misery. Because as long as you crave for your happiness, or as long as you hate your sadness, you're in the same loop. Happiness is no different from sadness if you're constantly craving for that happiness, because as you know, happiness won't last forever. So whenever you're not happy, in order to prevent not being too sad, you should rather try to maintain a balance in happy situations as well as in sad situations. Now, this can be applied in your life in the smallest of situations. Every moment we're either reacting to the stimulus outside us in a positive way or in a negative way. And if you start looking at every event and every stimuli in an objective manner, you'll realize that nothing is necessarily good or bad. And if you can look at anything with a balance in your mind, you will always be peaceful. No matter how sad you might be, deep within you'll always be feeling that bliss. Now, This also means that whenever you're happy, you'll not be too excited and you'll not be overwhelmed by your happiness, but you'll be able to peacefully observe your happiness and acknowledge the fact that happiness is just another side of the coin. And you'll understand that happiness and sadness are just two parts of the same coin. The earlier you have this realization, the more peaceful your life will be and the more balance your life will gain. Most of the people are in this vicious cycle of craving for happiness and trying to avert and avoid sadness. But then that is trying to escape the reality. As we've discussed in many of our previous videos, the best way to solve a problem is to face the problem head on rather than trying to escape the problem. So in this case, the problem is you becoming too engaged in your happiness and in your sadness. This is a result of conditioning that you have since your early childhood. So you cannot really solve it immediately, but at least you can make some effort in becoming more peaceful and becoming more observant about your emotions. If you like this video, do not forget to press the like button. Also, if you like whatever is happening here at Sound Health Solution, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be coming up with similar contents in the future. Until next time.